data is the fuel for operations at the edge. I asked Drew Schnabel, Area Vice President for U.S. Government Solutions at Zscaler, what those operators need to do with data and how they need to get it to make it actionable.
Yeah, great question. I think there's a lot of emerging technologies and capabilities that can help with this problem. So really it's getting data to the tactical edge, into the warfighter's hands so that they can make actionable intelligence decisions, but getting that data faster and more secure, right? So that we can make sure that the data is not getting in the adversary's hands and that the data is getting to the warfighter. They can make that decision and then pivot and then move on with their mission.
Does the edge always mean conflict or contact with an adversary or enemy, or can the edge mean something else?
No, I think, the edge can mean a lot of different things. There could be austere environments, right? So environments where there just aren't a lot of people, or environments where there's not a lot of communication, right? A lot of infrastructure, so using satellite comms, things like that. So the edge means a lot of different things. With this community, it obviously means, being with the warfighter in the adversary's conflict zone, but it means a lot of different things. So it's not just fit for this specific community. I think edge solutions and capabilities are fit for a lot of different scenarios and use cases.
One of the things that we've talked at this conference a lot about and on this television show is about connecting those edge endpoints so that the data isn't going a bunch of different directions, that each of those folks can talk to each other.
Right.
What's the state of the art of that in that right now? Is that possible today, or is that something that we're working toward?
It's possible today, but it can always get better. Like I said earlier, more secure.
Yeah.
So we have zero trust that's out there. It's the big buzzword in the community and industry. Everybody's got their flavor of zero trust, but really zero trust access is that secure communication. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. I think, as I said earlier, faster, more secure is what we're looking for to get that actionable intelligence into the warfighter's hands.
Yeah. What will be the kind of the ideal end state of all of this? Is there a point where we go, okay, we've got it, and we can now move on to solving the next problem? Or is this? It sounds like something.
I think it's an iterative process, right? It's going to continue to evolve and change because our adversaries are changing, right? And so the threat is always coming from the adversary. It's an evolving, evolutionary process that's going to continue to change. So industry needs to continue to change as our adversaries change.
You kind of anticipated my next question, Drew, which is what does industry need to do to respond to the SOF community in particular, because that's where we are, but the national defense, national security community in general, to be able to meet the way that evolutionary change is going to happen?
Well, I think it's understanding, being as close as possible to the customer and understanding, the customer's needs, right? And hearing them out, right? And really, creating customized solutions for them, pivoting and doing things that they really need and want. They're helping them refine their requirements too, right? Because although the customer is in the mission on a daily basis, we can help them with our feedback as well. So it's a constant feedback loop, right? But I think it's going to be an evolutionary process. I think industry's being engaged in a much better manner, and that's working a lot, and I think they see the benefits to that. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to continue to improve.
Is part of the reason for that because different organizations in government are getting away from here's the list of requirements and more to here's our problem, how can you help us solve it?
Absolutely. It's coming up with a problem statement, refining use cases for those specific problems instead of saying, here's our requirements, respond to this, RFI, RFP, right? Yeah. Because a lot of that doesn't work in the tactical space, right? So,
what would you like to see for that kind of momentum to continue?
Just more collaboration, right? More collaboration with industry. I think there's an extreme benefit to the collaboration that this community has. I mean, this community is at the tip of the spear, right? So they're the ones, out there, on their missions, and I think that we need to work closer. It's hard because there's so many vendors, right? And everybody wants to sell their widget. But I think, continuing that collaboration with our customers, with the DIB community, the defense industrial base community, coming up with these solutions for the warfighter.
Drew, it's great to talk to you. Thanks very much.
I appreciate the time.